Okay, June 8th, 4:01 p.m. Opening, closing bell. I know I mess that up all the time. Just rang. And what did we finish at? All right, so we had pretty much a flat day in the market. And honestly, it feels like we've been having a lot of these, like kind of the market looking for what's going to happen next in terms of the Federal Reserve, in terms of inflation, in terms of the dollar. Again, all of this hedges upon what inflation is going to do. Now, we know that inflation is going to go much, much higher, and the real question is how will it be portrayed by the media? I mean, inflation is here, shrinkflation is here. I mean, look around you. I can remember back when I was young. I mean, we should have a growing economy, right? Well, the dollar menu at McDonald's was way better when I was younger. I don't know about you. The dollar menu at other places was way better. You know, the kind of value you would get for your dollar, in my eyes, has gone down quite a bit, especially in shrinkflation. That's where I've noticed it the most. Juice boxes, etc. But again, how are they going to play this inflation narrative? Because this is how it's gone for a long time. You know, people aren't aware that the inflation is as impactful as it is, but yet it's there, and it's because they've been able to play it off in things like energy and things like supply chain disruptions and stuff like that. But let's take a look at one. Let's just go over the markets again. Let's go over cryptos. Let's hit gold and silver because I know. I honestly I have no idea what people generally watch my stuff for. However, I must say this to my own horn a little bit. This morning I said if oil drops 1%, I will be buying it. It dropped exactly 1%. I bought it at exactly 1% lower, and what happened to oil today? We finished above $70 a barrel. We ended up putting on almost a 1% gain, or almost 1.5% gain in terms of crude oil. I think it's WTI, which is the ticker I look at, just above $70 a barrel. So that was, I mean, spot on, and oil is going a lot higher, although I did take a fair amount of profit in the position that I already had open and that I added to this morning. I opened the day with a position, it was down, I added to it, it became profitable, I took some of that profit. And I actually ended up the day with a smaller position than when I started it. Whatever, that's how I trade, that's how I take profit. I usually don't get out of a trade fully. But I'm crying a little bit inside, although I really shouldn't be because I'm not worried at all about this stuff. But, you know, it makes me sad when I see gold and silver being rigged this way. But today was really a nothing day, though, you know, with regards to gold and silver. I mean, they can rig it much more to the downside if they want to. JP Morgan, we all know who's doing it. But it's really centered around the dollar. And I think the dollar is really why the markets, gold, silver, have been in this sort of, what's going on phase. Because I think the market and everything is waiting, and same with cryptos even too, have been waiting for either the dollar itself to break below that 90 level significantly, or for the Fed to come out and clarify some of the things they've been saying, because the Fed is so incoherent. I mean, you get one Fed president saying we should stop asset purchases, we should start tapering, interest rates need to rise, or a former Fed president like Janet Yellen. But then you get another Fed president saying the monetary policy is accurate for now, we should keep going this pace. Now, how does this make any sense? To me, it makes sense because they're trying to deceive you. They're trying to confuse you, to not get you to understand what's going on. I mean, economics is really a joke in the way that it's portrayed now. I have a degree in economics. I've been through the 4 years of BS to try to learn these theories that these people put out. And some of it's accurate, but really the most accurate part is as it relates to psychology. So really, in my eyes, these Fed presidents, they're psychologists more than anything else. They look at things and they try to see how the market, people, and everything else is going to react to it. And so the psychological signal they're telling the market right now is basically that we're going to keep you in limbo. I mean, we're not stopping, of course, because we understand their real end game. We understand why they won't stop, but we'll keep you kind of off balance a little bit here until the next big move needs to be made. And in my opinion, the next big move is going to be off of some sort of event that's created, whether it be war, economically, blah blah blah. I mean, the easiest path for them would to be release some absolutely terrible economic data and then have that be the reason that the economy or that they need to continue inflating. That's the most simple one, but they could create conflict in the Middle East, which could destabilize things, and this is the playbook that they've used for so long. And I think the reason that an event needs to happen, in their eyes, is because they need an excuse to be pushing the dollar lower. When the dollar breaks below 90 and starts to really ride below there, people are going to turn their heads and they're going to say, wait, why is that happening? I mean, they should be turning their heads a lot more than they already are, but it will have to get some attention from the mainstream media and these other outlets. So when it gets that attention, they will use another excuse because some of the excuses are running out a little bit. It's like you see some people on CNBC saying, say the unemployment benefits are keeping people out of the workforce, and the Fed's monetary policies, doing X, Y, Z, and therefore we might need to think about tapering or stopping these asset purchases. They're right in a lot of senses. I mean, a lot of these things are real, and according to the Fed's own monetary mandate. You see, the Fed has a mandate: stable prices, unemployment, keep unemployment stable. And when you have inflation becoming so obvious, all of the indicators for inflation are higher. When you have it becoming so obvious, the normal excuses just won't work as much anymore. And so that's that, I think, on that topic. Just to overview where, I see this market working towards. I mean, there's no question that a pullback in this market would be healthy for it, and that would be bullish. And, I just don't see it with the way that crude oil is rising here. It really seems unstoppable. And even though we finished flat on all the indices, I mean, we were lower by a significant amount earlier in the morning in the futures, and especially at the open. I think the Dow finished 170 points off of its low, and that was from this morning. That new low was lower than the one we set pre-market. So that was during the trading day that happened, and it got bought right back up. So there's no reason to get short this market at all. There's no reason to be all in on naked options. I'm in some credit spreads right now. But I do have naked calls on gold stocks, which I slowly add to incrementally, and I will add to in the future if they continue to drop. But my bet right now is I'm waiting for that dollar to break below 90, personally. It would definitely hurt me if it didn't break below 90 and it went to above 91. That's something I don't want to happen, but hey, if it happens, it happens, and we will reevaluate when that would occur. And so I wanted to touch on crypto a little bit here too. So what happened with crypto? We bounced lower off of a little bit of stuff relating to the way that money laundering is being used in the crypto space. Now, anybody can realize that crypto is not the number one criminal currency. The dollar is. Okay. But, this is how they've been playing it. This has been their excuse to possibly regulate crypto, and this is something that scares me a little bit. I'm not selling. I'm still a massive bull on crypto, but I see people on CNBC talking about, and other mainstream channels, and on these articles, talking about how dangerous Bitcoin is. And how, it needs to be regulated. And regulation is what I don't want. I do not want regulation in the crypto space. It would not be a good thing. And I think this is what cryptos got scared about this morning. and during the day today. That being said, did I even mention it was the ransomware attack from this morning that shut down websites of some major companies? I know I mentioned it pre-market, but I think that was why cryptos took the hit, because then they started talking about how the pipeline organizers that shut down that pipeline a couple of weeks ago, which was really a ploy to prop up crude oil, but those people were paid their ransom in Bitcoin. And apparently they confiscated some of it, blah, blah, blah. But again, I don't like that at all. And I don't really have anything more to say on that. I need to take it day by day. But from this point, it's been all talk, no action. So if they take some real action, that's when I would start to think about maybe reallocating a little bit of my cryptocurrencies into maybe more physical silver, But I will never be back in the dollar. Nobody can put me back in the dollar. It's a dying asset, and it has nowhere to go but down in this environment. And again, I would need something very, very drastic to change my opinion on that, and it just won't change. And I had one other thing that I wanted to cover, and job openings at record highs. I mean, I'm not even going to come out here and talk about a fake number, blah, blah, blah. But I do think that it's saying something about how incentivized people are to stay home and to not start working. And really let me explain why it is actually what they want, what the Federal Reserve wants, what the people in power want. When I say they, I just mean the people in power, the people pulling the strings. I don't even know who they are. I know why they exist and how they exist. That's really what matters. But knowing exactly this person, that person, you know the cogs in the wheel, but you don't know what the highest level is. That's just how it works. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't believe that, if you think I'm totally wrong on that, well, go watch something else. There's nothing wrong with that either. Okay, but job openings at record highs. They want you to be a slave. Okay? They don't want you to be free. And if they can keep you not from working, they will keep you dependent upon their currency, upon their system, upon the way they run things. This channel is about breaking free of that, creating your own existence, however you want to live it, but creating an existence free from that kind of scarcity, where you're dependent upon the next person running, to give you a check. And, people don't want that. People want to stay in their little box, and they want to stay really dependent, and they don't want to take any action. And believe me, I've been there a million times, especially when I spend, 90% of my life in the schooling system. It really makes me want to just give up most of the time. But however, I've broken free of that. God bless, I'm out of there. But that's how the stuff is designed, top to bottom, discourage you, make you dependent, make you believe there's only one path forward for yourself, not make you think and maybe say, okay, even if you're not trading stocks, there's a path out for you. There's some way that you can take advantage of this entire freak show, and I truly believe that. I'm trying to do that myself. It's not easy sometimes, I've had times where I take big losses in this market, and I took a loss on my portfolio today, and I wasn't happy about it. But have something that you believe in and stick with it. That's really what matters. If you try to bounce around and you get reactionary, that's when you're gonna fail. And I've been there too much, so let me leave it on that. This is about moving forward, and we're going to move forward. We're going to keep killing this thing. Just join me, and we'll build it together. The more of us, the better. All right. I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of your day, and please hit the like and subscribe button. All right. Bye.